Welcome back to the Guns and Outdoors channel. I hope you are doing well out there today. A pistol trigger is one of the top features you can do to try to improve your accuracy. Whether you're a beginner, new to shooting, an intermediate person that's got a few years of training and practicing under your belt, or even in the competition circuit and advanced levels. Comps, sporting, concealed carry, everybody's looking to get the edge with triggers. Everything from individual springs, polishing, 10-cent polishing jobs, to entire drop-in trigger systems. There's a plethora of third-party out there. What's interesting today, we finally got our hands on the Glock Performance Trigger. We're gonna talk about it, I'm gonna drop it in, and we're gonna enjoy this, see how she does. Make sure you like and subscribe. Stand by. Welcome back. Let's do the quick rundown of what I think makes a good trigger these days. I got about 5, 6, 7 items I want to cover with you today. This gun is unloaded. First things first, a good grip technique on the trigger. The trigger break itself, is it predictable? Do you know when it's going to go off? Is it crunchy? Is it smooth? All right. Anytime you can get something very predictable and easy to master, that's where you want to be on the trigger break. How about the wall? When you pull through, increase your pressure on the trigger, and you hit that wall, what does that feel like? Is it solid? Is it spongy? And then what's the break weight? Is it a 3-pound trigger, 4-pound, 5-pound, 6-pound? What are you comfortable with? You don't want to blow through the walls in high stress. There's a balancing act. Too low, you could have negligent unintended discharge. Too high, you're just ripping it. You're jerking the trigger and your accuracy goes down. So what's the sweet spot? What is your use case? What is your mission? If we look at reset, it's another one. Is it a 2mm reset, a 3mm reset? Does it reset at the 90 further out? Are you getting kicked out? Does it feel good? Do you have an audible click? All of that ensures and increases your predictability when you're running the trigger. All right, let's take it back to the Glock Performance Trigger. So here we have the Glock GPT. Now I will say I waited a couple months for this. I got it from the Glock store. Let me know if you ever bought anything from the Glock store and what your experience was. How'd that go? This was $99. So I went on a waiting list. Had a little bit of issue billing me. They said something like credit card didn't go through. I sent them an email. I was like, hey, definitely got plenty of funds in there. Go ahead and run the $99. Next thing I know, it went through. It was in the mail a few days later. So they sorted it out. I guess it was something on their end, but I thought they were going to cancel my order. So thank you, Glock Store, for not doing that. That would have sucked because I've been waiting on this for a while and I wanted to bring that review to you all today. All right, so this puppy fits on the Glock Gen 5 series. It says it fits the 17, the 19, 26, 34, 45 MOS, and the 47. And actually look at this, being a Glock armorer myself, I see some differences. I see the same trigger bar, I see a different trigger shoe, and I do see a different trigger mechanism housing. Glock's website says it's still safe, it's still reliable, and it's made for high performance. We shall see. Everybody's been waiting on Glock. I'm not going to go down that path, but that they're starting to be slow to innovate. It's always great to have a drop-in trigger system. If you're less mechanically inclined and you just, watch a couple videos yourself to see how they drop these in, I promise you, you can do it. No doubt about it. The trigger pull weight should be right at 4 pounds. That's interesting. I think that's great. Me personally, right off the bat, this resonates to me. Anything lower than 4, I get a little nervous on. My sweet spot is always low 4s. So we'll see how this goes, all right? So we'll do a baseline trigger pull test here, and we'll see where we're at. Now, standard Glock triggers, they're going to come in anywhere around 5 to 6 pounds. This Glock is well shot, so this is coming in almost on the money, a smidgen over 5 pounds. All right, let's do one more to get the baseline. Normally they come anywhere between 5 and 6. All right, this one, that second pull, I may have been a little light, 4.9. To ensure optimal performance, Glock recommends lubricating using CLP, of course. Prior to the first use and before and after each subsequent use. Apply 1 drop of oil to the following areas: between the trigger bar and the connector, right there, between the trigger bar and the frame, which is here. You see some rubbing, that's pretty traditional. And then on top of the sear holder. So right in there, there you go. Interesting. All right, let's look at the trigger. Well, there it is. I do see a wider trigger tab. It doesn't look as pronounced to me here as the standard Glocks do. See, take a look there. Judge for yourself. It's a little shorter. And everything else. No fancy coatings, traditional Glock here. I don't see that they've cut the geometry where the safety plunger meets. That looks the same. Yep, the housing. Definitely different. Let's install it. As I said, I'm not going to show you this on video. That way I don't get demonetized. So stand by. Be right back in a jiffy. There we go. So the connector is a dot connector. Okay, and one of the things you want to do is you always want, between the connector and the housing, I got some Go Juice here. Like it's a thick, very fine grease. If you ever get your trigger bar all the way out, make sure you add a little lube there. Just put it right there on that part of the connector. It should be obvious, but get yourself a Glock punch tool. These are very handy. It's definitely different. Pretty cool. Just oohing and eyeing here for a moment because Glock's finally changed up some stuff. All right, hold on. Let me keep assembling. Be right back. All right, I've got it installed and I am excited. I have not pulled the trigger yet. Here it is, maiden voyage. So I'm taking out the slag. I'm at the 90. I feel like I'm at 95% and it broke. That felt good. Let me do the reset. Man, this feels really good. Hold on, let me just present this out for a minute. Get some reps. Sweet. Guys. All right, let me pull this one more time. Try to go for over travel. There's over travel. Not much. Not much at all. It feels reliable. Like Glock did a good job on this. Wow. All right, trigger pull test. That's proof's in the pudding. Let's see. Feels like to me like it's in the 4s, lower 4s. Sure enough, look at that. 4.1, 4.2. That is money. That's right where I have no problem being at. I don't think you guys would either. Let's do a second pull. Wow, freak, dead on the money. Another 4 point, smidge under 4.1. Wow. Yeah, get to the, yeah, it's good. Some of you guys need to dry fire and practice this like with anything. You have to build your muscle memory and get used to it. But this thing, whew. For me, it's got a cleaner break, a good reset. My finger trigger placement is great. I normally like rounded triggers, it's just me, or a little hybrid, but this guy feels perfect. I like the rounded edges. I don't really feel this trigger tab bothering me. They've kind of cleaned that up. Some folks report on Glocks that bothers them. And, you know, like Johnny Glock, they'll shave that down. I really like this. For $99. Wow. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just kind of talk about a couple things while we're going. I occasionally compete, right? So one of the things I was thinking about with this trigger is, can you compete in the Glock Sport Shooting Foundation, which is otherwise known as GSSF? I recommend if you're into Glocks and you're not a big-time shooter or you haven't done your first match, that you go ahead and try it. I think it's easy. It's low pressure. There's always an indoor league near you, and you can go there and stand on the line, follow instruction, and kind of compete, get a little bit of pressure, be on the clock, get on the timer, and then try your first competition. Get in to win door prizes. Glock's pretty nifty with that. Generally, somebody's always winning. Glock says this Glock Performance Trigger can be used in all divisions. The final thoughts are A through F. I'm giving this a solid A. Not an A+. There's a lot. You can take it to the next level, but for $99 from Glock as a drop-in, knowing that it'll be easy to install, which it was, safe and reliable, and then take you down to the low 4s. Here's where I'm gonna say run, don't walk. Purchase one of these, no doubt about it. Put these in all your Glocks. I think in a year from now, this will be standard. Every one of you will have one of these in your Glocks. And I also think Glock will probably come out with other triggers for like the smaller slimline pistols, for the 42, 43, 43X, and the 48, right? And then of course the G44 was different. Who knows what they're gonna do there. But for all the Gen 5s, this is an awesome drop-in trigger. There you go. Let me know what you think. Do you have one yet? I'm gonna tell you definitely what I already said. Go out and buy one. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, we're out of here. There's your Glock Performance Trigger. That is a winner.